Who is the most famous person you've ever met? I'll tell you my story next. Where am I going to put this doodad? I don't have my normal... I could just put it in my pocket and zip up the pocket. That'll work. What's going on, gang? Welcome back to another moto vlog. Thursday morning. It's going to be about 77 degrees for the high. So, first day this year I've ridden the bike to work. It is going to be a beautiful day. So I got a new topic here I want to talk about. This is just something that just kind of entered my mind the other day. It's going to be a little, not motorcycle related at all, just kind of a story and kind of a question for everybody that's watching the channel. Thank you for not going. So back to the video subject. Who is the most famous person you have ever met? Now, I'm not talking about going to a celebrity signing where somebody's scheduled to be there, you know, and you make all these plans to go meet this person where you know they're gonna be. I'm talking about like out in the wild, as you could say. So let me know in the comments below who's the most famous person you've ever met, and just give me a little story. Who was it? Where was it? And just give me a little backstory about it. I'll tell you my story. Let's see, this was probably about 17, 16 years ago. When I went to college out in Tempe, Arizona. If you don't know where Tempe is, it's pretty much Phoenix. And Phoenix, if you've ever been to Phoenix, you know that Phoenix is a huge area, and the population is big, and it's just been growing, especially over the last 20 years. And when you look at Phoenix, it's not just Phoenix, it's all these mother cities. You have Tempe, Scottsdale, Glendale, Mesa, Apache Junction, Guadalupe. There's just all these cities that are connected together to look like one big city. And if you've ever seen downtown Phoenix, it's not very big. And it's not like going to a city like New York or San Francisco or even St. Louis where, you know, you got all these tall buildings. There's only like a handful of buildings downtown. But anyway, get back to the story. I went out there for college for about 2 years, and I was working in a mall. The only job I could find was at an Old Navy in the Tempe Mall. What was it? The Mills Mall, the Tempe Mills Mall, Arizona Mills. Which was a cool mall at the time. That's when they still had record stores. And malls are just going downhill nowadays. But anyway, this was a pretty famous mall. And if you know Phoenix, there are a lot of celebrities that live in Phoenix, especially up in like Scottsdale, which is kind of the richier community of the valley. And well, one day I was working, I think it was a Saturday. You guys have to excuse me, I've been battling a cough and a cold the last week. But anyway, I was working one of the checkout lanes, and I'm sitting there, and it wasn't too busy at the time. I think it was only about maybe a half hour before we were closing. And I saw this guy with this younger kid. You know, he was probably 10, 11 years old. They walk up into my line. You know, nobody in front of him, nobody behind him. And this guy was dressed in a leather jacket, you know, torn up jeans. And he had this kid with him. And he had a whole cart full of clothes. I'm talking, he had $300 plus worth of clothes. I ended up checking out, you know, through the checkout lane. And then while I'm checking out these clothes, you know, I'm ringing them up, and I'm kind of looking at this guy, and I recognize who he is. But it's more like, okay, this guy looks familiar. I don't want to say anything to him because, you know, celebrities, I know a lot of them, they don't like to be bothered in their free time. And this guy was with either, you know, his grandson or his nephew, great nephew, or something like that. Well, anyway, what really put the topper on the cake and made things click with who this guy was, we had a little dollar bin there on the checkout counter. You know, just miscellaneous items that we marked down to $1. Well, he reaches in there and he grabs this punk-style studded bracelet and throws it on the counter. He goes, "I'll take this too." I'm like, "Okay, sir." And then I took another look at him, and I'm like, "Holy shit, I know who this is." I don't know if you guys want to take a guess. Excuse me, shit. But if you want to take a guess, go ahead. But I almost said this is going to give you, this might give it away, this might not to some of you 80s kids. I almost said,
"Does this guy know how to party or what?"
Does that click anything? No? Well, if it doesn't, if it does, this was Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper does live in Phoenix. I think he does live in Scottsdale. Heck, I even think he has a restaurant out there too. But I was like, you know, in your mind when you have that oh shit feeling, like your stomach turns and you got like that oh my god feeling. That's what happened. But I did not bother the man. I really wanted to because I love Alice Cooper. I think his music's awesome. Plus, I've seen Wayne's World. That was probably the first time I actually saw him, maybe besides the School's Out video. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. And to make things even better, he paid with a credit card, and like, you know, it was like his name was scratched out on it. I couldn't make out what his name was. I was trying to get another confirmation, but he paid with his credit card, signed the slip, and I put it in my drawer. Roadkill. Oh shit! Ran over you, squirrel. I'm sorry about that. But anywho, he left, and just about around the end of his checkout, there was a young couple behind him, and they come up to my line after Alice and his the kid that was with them left the store, and he goes, "Do you know," this next guy in line comes up to me, he goes, "Do you know who that was?" And I kind of nodded at him like, "Yeah." And then he goes, "That's amazing." I was like, "Yeah." God damn it. So we've had some other, god damn. Might see a lung in my helmet before long. So, but in that mall, like I said, it's a pretty famous mall. A lot of celebrities came there. We had somebody from, like, The Real World, one of the Real World television series on MTV, if you guys remember that. One of those girls, they came into the store one time. That was pretty cool. And what was neat was, in that old lady, we had the walkie-talkies. We could talk to each other without really, with some discretion. So it'd be like, "Hey, this person's in the store, this person's in the mall." We actually had Mike Tyson come in the mall once, too. We didn't see him, but I thought that was a pretty cool story. It was an awing moment for me. Most famous person I've ever had a meeting. I mean, I've met some other famous people, like back in the day, my dad took us to wrestling events at the old St. Louis Arena. I saw like Chief Jay Strongbow. We got to meet him and a couple other wrestlers. I met Matt Hughes at a signing here in Litchfield. Maybe a couple of others I don't really remember, but that one with Alice Cooper was the most memorable. So let me know in the comments below, do you have any stories of meeting famous celebrities? What was your story? Who was it? When was it? How did you meet them? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for this vlog. Please like this video, subscribe if you haven't yet, leave me a comment, and I'll see you on the flippity flip. You guys take it sleazy. I'll see you later.